Good afternoon, students. Hope you are doing good. In the last Zoom session, we have done the formation of joint stock company, like the process of a joint stock company. And in the end of this, after completion of this process, we have done few terms related to types of capital, which is authorized capital, issued capital, subscribed capital, called up capital, and paid up capital. In this class, I would like to teach you the important document used in formation of the company. There are some important document which is used by the company. If these documents are not available, there is no possible of formation of company. Even we have already discussed in class, like what is memorandum of association, this is known as MOA, what is article of association, what is prospectus. But now what we need to do, we'll go in detail. Fine. So first document is memorandum of association, that is MOA. So MOA is a principal document of the company, which is really important for the company. It is considered as the charter of the company. Like charter of the company, that means which gives a legislative power to the company. Fine, it contains the power and objective of the company. It describes the scope operation of the company, that it tells about what is the scope of the company. It tells about that the what the company cannot tell, can do it. Fine. So even no company can be registered without MOA. No company can become exist without MOA. That's why sometimes it is also known as life-giving document. So this is really important. Fine. So life-giving document it also known as. It tells about the scope of operation of the company. It can be altered only according to the provision made in the Companies Act regarding its alteration. If we need some changes in MOA, then we have to opt and go through about the Companies Act 2013 for the same. MOA provide the information to the outsider. So hence mark this word, that it provide information to outsiders such as all stakeholders. I told you in the class what is stakeholders. The person who is associated with the company, like creditors, supplier, government, etc., are known their limitation and the scope of the company dealing. So it tells about what are limitations, what are scope. We cannot do this, we can do this. It tells about an MOA. It also known as doctrine of outdoor management. So it is also known as doctrine of outdoor management. So I even told you that MOA is it tells about the power, like power that we have to deal with outside. So it tells about the relationship outside company. Is it clear? This is all about MOA. Now further if we go in depth, so the content, what the content available in this, the component of MOA are, first is name clause. The itself as company is like, is born, we have to provide its name to the company, which is not similar to the other company or the identical of the company. Once all the documents is provided and the registrar is happy with this, all documents are authentic, found authentic, then it will approve our name. So it is written in this name approved. The clause contains the name, company of the name of the company. The company choose any name subject to the following restrictions. So there are certain restrictions, like the name of the company must end with the word limited in case of public limited, and in case of private limited it will be end with the private limited company. You already aware about this. The name should be not similar, identical. I told you the name should not contain cooperative, because cooperative is some other form of business. It will not become as a company, because usually company have a profit motive, whereas cooperative have a social welfare motive. The name of the company not convey any connection to link of the company with the government department. So there is no directly link up with the government department. Fine. How we have altered the name? If we have to made some changes in the name of the company, then what we need to do, a company can change its name by passing a special resolution and obtaining written approval of the central government. So company required a central government approval. Beyond this, beside this we also need to pass some special resolution. Now what is there are two type of a resolution. Fine. One is a special resolution, other one is ordinary resolution. Like special resolution is required 2/3 majority, so it required 2/3 majority for the same, whereas in case of ordinary resolution it requires majority itself. Like to understand this, I'm taking, suppose there are 120 shareholders in a meeting. Fine. Overall 120 member are there, out of which if we're talking about in case of special resolution, so 2/3 majority will be come up as 80% must be say matlab must be agree, 80 people, 80 member must be agree for particularly bring the changes in anything. That is known as special resolution. But in case of ordinary resolution, only half, that means you required majority. So 120 are there, and if we talk about half, that means the half of 120 will be how much? The half will be 60. So if you have 61 as in majority, 61 will be definitely lead to a majority. Then particularly if you need to, if you talk about name change, I mean name clause, so that will not happen because it requires special resolution. So in case of this we require 81, but there are some ordinary resolution which only required 61 member will be say yes. Like my example is quoting only 120 members, so it may be different in some other cases. Like, so what you'll write in case of special company, there must be special resolution. It must be two-third of its member must be agree. So majority must be there, of two-third majority must be there. Is it clear? So when we have give the name, as you also know that when a child born in a family will give its name, then we go for this domicile and a relevance document. In the similar cases, we have also follow the same procedure for the company. Like when we have provide the name to the company, now the next point is domicile, like situation, where it is situated. So that's all we need to do. If we made certain changes that our company is there in Haryana and move towards is Rajasthan, that may interstate. Sometimes our company is in Haryana, now it's moved from रोहतक टू गुरुग्राम में चेंज हो रही है. सो ऐसे भी चेंजेस आते हैं. तो व्हाट वी नीड टू डू, that is alteration. Now we'll have to study about all this. This clause contain the name of the state in which the registered office of the company is to be situated. It is necessary because the company gets registration from the state itself. Definitely the company get a certificate from the state itself. The registered office is a place where all the important documents, as I told you earlier, what is registered office? So registered office is a place where all the important documents of the company are kept. So if in a state, and if you talk about Haryana, our company is there and set up its company set up in Haryana itself. So we need to go to this registered office and provide all relevant documents of the company. So the company must have to get registered office when it is start its business or within 30 days of its registration, whichever is earlier. Fine. So what is the maximum period is 30 days. Beta, please mark this 30 days. Afterwards, alteration, not adulteration, alteration of situation clause में क्या कैसे changes ला सकते हो? How you may bring the same changes by passing a special resolution. Again, here it is in a special resolution by obtaining sanction of the registrar of both state if the office is shifted from one state to other. So हमें registrar दोनों state की जरूरत पड़ सकती है. If in case our office is there earlier is running in Haryana, now we are moving towards to Rajasthan, so we require the permission of both the registrar of the state registrar of both Haryana as well as Rajasthan as well. Is it clear? Or by passing a special resolution only if office is situated from one town to another town. So we required only pass the special resolution. Further, by passing ordinary resolution, like this is the ordinary resolution by shifted from one locality. This ordinary resolution requires only what? This is ordinary resolution, so this only required half majority. Fine, not this is a special resolution. Again, our next point is object clause. You can clearly understand what is object clause. What is the object of the company is defined. Fine, in this document, in this clause, what is the object, main primary object of the company is must be defined, and not only primary but secondary objective was also defined. Fine, it tells about the scope and limitation that the activities come into contract with the outside parties. Is it clear? So this is all about written over here. Like what are the object, whatever the object of the company is must be legal. It must be ethical. Fine. So ethical, legal, and make sure it is not immoral. Is it clear? So this is all written over here in the object clause. Just please go and read it. I already provide this notes to you people. Now what is liability clause? In case of liability clause, this clause what is do? This clause limit the liability of its member to the amount unpaid by the shares held by them. So there sometimes, I earlier told you that the company calls its share capital, have a choice. It may go for the lump sum or it may be calling by like application, allotment and first calls like this. Usually company opt this procedure rather than going for the lump sum payment. Fine. Like taking one example, suppose there is, you can see this, suppose there is Mr. Rahul is one shareholder, right, who purchases, or you can say who holding, he holding what, he holding 1000 shares. So he holding 1000 share of Alpha Limited company. Suppose we are using any name, right? So what we need to understand, there is a one shareholder whose name is Rahul. He is holding 1000 share of that particular company. Fine. Out of which, and each share costing rupees 10 per share. Fine, 10 per share. So now out of rupees 10, out of rupees 10, Rahul paid 8 rupees to the company, but unpaid rupees 2, just because the company have never called this capital from its shareholder, namely Rahul. I'm just talking about Rahul. Fine. So now what is this? How much Rahul paid? So 8 rupees out of 1000 share, 8 rupee he paid. So he paid 8000 rupees. That's fine. Company already got how much amount from Rahul? 8000 in a way of share capital. Fine. Now the company remaining how much rupees? The company remaining 1000 share of 2 rupees. That means company are in position to call for this unpaid capital. Fine. But at the point when the company can call, and this, although when company can call on its wind up, when company is about to close, and this is known as reserve capital. What is reserve capital? It is the amount, it is the capital which the shareholder have not paid to the company, but company will call this amount when company going to wind up or closing its company. Then only company can call this amount. This is known as reserve capital. So when we need to understand why the company is calling this amount, the company is in losses, so company can call only this 2000 from Mr. Rahul. So the liability of Mr. Rahul will be only limit to the unpaid capital, not beyond this. So in case of that, the personal asset of Mr. Rahul will be safe. That means due to this reason we have already studied the feature of company, that company have the company member have limited liability. So here is the case. To what extent the company will call the amount? Only this much. Is it clear? Now we'll study about this. Liability clause. In this clause, define the liability of its member of the company. In case the company limited by its shares, liability of member is limited to the extent of how much? Unpaid amount of the shareholder, share capital, unpaid. For example, if a person having 1000 share of a face value of 10, what is the face value? I already told you and discussed this in the class. Face value rupees 10, and he paid only, in this example, he paid rupees 7. He paid rupees 7. So 1000 into 7, that means 7000 he paid. How much remaining? 3000. So the company will call only the unpaid amount from this particular shareholder. That is the liability of that shareholder till the extent which is he did not pay this amount. Fine. More than this amount, the company is not in a position to call by this person. Is it clear? This is what a liability clause. The capital clause, I discussed some definitions, or you can say the different types of capital, which tells one capital we have discussed, which is known as authorized capital or nominal capital. So I told you in that case what the company can do. The company have to define its maximum limit of the capital which will be going to issue to the general public. Is it clear? Beyond that limit, the company will be not issue its share debenture or other ways. Fine. So this clause specify the amount of a share capital by with which the company can be registered. The maximum amount which the company will be registered. The capital which the company is registered is known as a registered authorized or nominal capital. The company can issue only the number of shares which the company will authorize by its memorandum. Fine. If the company have a limit of 50 lakhs. So it will be written in MOA that company have a maximum limit of arranging this, or you can say go issue to the public of 50 lakhs. But there is not always like the company will always issue its share to 50 lakh. It may going to issue for 10 lakh, and that 10 lakh is known as issue capital. Is it clear? The next point is association, or you can say subscription clause. In this point, it is just like the directors will give in return that we have made the company on a basis of authentic documents, and being a director we have already purchased the minimum share for qualification of shares. Fine. So this is all we need to do it, and minimum number are also there. So we have form our company. This is all, and they have to sign it. Is this document is need to be signed, that's it, which cannot be any made altered or altered nahi kar sakte. The alteration of the association clause cannot be possible at anyhow. Is it clear? I told you minimum qualification of shares of the directors. Fine. So we have already discussed this. So this is all about MOA. Now we come up the AOA, Article of Association. So in short, the Article of Association tells about the rules and regulation of the company within company. Fine. So inside what will happen? All the rules and regulation imposes of which remain within the company. It tells about what? AOA defines all this. So Article of Association contains rules and regulation regarding the management of the company in internal affairs. It defines the powers, duties, rights of manager, office, employees, and the board of directors. Generally, all the company pursuits, they have their own AOA, Article of Association. If they can prepare, then fine. If they don't want to prepare, then also fine. Under that circumstances, they have to opt Table F of Companies Act. Fine. In the Table F of Companies Act, one article association given is in Table F, and it is given 99 model set of article association are given. So in that table there are 99. How many? 99 model set of article of association which is already prepared. If you need to follow the same, just you choose any mode and just apply it. Just go and apply that in your company. Fine, you can take that. In AOA, it is signed by, it is written here, 99 model set of article of association are given. Companies can select any one from these 99 sets. The article of association must be signed by all the directors of the company. It must be duly attested by 2 witnesses. Is it clear? Although I must say that there's so many things are written here, don't do this much. Only write the main things, like article of association tells about the internal affair of the company. It tells about the rules, duties of the company, managers, officer, directors. Fine. And those company can prepare this article of association. They can easily prepare their own. If they don't, then they have to opt. Mark these words and remember this word, Table F of the Companies Act. In Table Act, there are 99 modes are there. Company can choose any mode of them. Is it fine? And it is signed by all the directors, and 2 witnesses are also there. It is kind of a story that you have to just go through it. Don't mug up all this. Okay. That what are the main contents of AOA? The very easy. At amount of share capital of a different shade of classes of shares. It tells about the rights of a type of shares, right of each type of share. There are different type of shares like equity share, preference shares, and further preference shares is also divided into so many shares. I will discuss this in later on. Procedure making, how you will allotted the share, what is the issue, how you will transfer the shares. I'm sorry. Well, now what is the forfeiture of share? The term is forfeiture means we are going to cancel the share of the shareholders just because there might be chances for the non-payment of that share. Suppose if Mr. A is holding 1000 share of a company. Mr. A holding 1000 share of the company, and face value of those shares is Mr. A holding. So here it is, Mr. A is there, and he is holding 1000 share of which company? Delta company, right? I'm just using the name Delta. So Mr. A holding 1000 share, and out of which the face value of shares, each share ki face value kitni hai? Is rupees 10. Fine. And he paid 8 rupees from this. The company are asking and calling for 2 rupees as a final call. But rupees 2, this shareholder, Mr. A, is not made the payment. The company gives a warning. Fine. But again, he did not, and he's a defaulter. Now what will be the company will cancel its shares of Mr. A, the company will have a right to cancel the share of the share just because of non-payment of the share capital. Under that circumstances, this term is known as forfeiture of shares. The company have to tell about this, a forfeiture of shares, procedure for conducting meeting, and so on. The duties, power, remunerations. Remuneration means salary and wages of the directors. This is all the payment of dividend. Don't go for this. Just read 2, 4, and 5. That's it. Article is association can originally framed and altered from time to time. We can alter changes according to the changes take place in a Companies Act. What are the what are the terms and conditions that always keep in mind? So anything when we going to alter, we have to pass the special resolution subject to the following condition. They are the subject to the following conditions. The alteration must be not be contrary against the provision of MOA. So if whatever the alteration are doing, it must not be go against to MOA of the company. It not result in the breach of contract with outsider. If you are changing anything, that means if you have we contract with some other person, outside person. If you bring that alteration does not made that breach means that cancel of that cancel of that contract with outsider. तो कभी भी cancel ना हो object contract आपका. It must be in the interest of the company. Definitely it going to be. It must not be result in increasing liability of its member. Like आप कभी भी change नहीं कर सकते कुछ भी चीजें जो liability है वो कभी भी extend नहीं होनी चाहिए. So they are the points you have to keep in mind, and by passing the special resolution. So we can alter by passing a special resolution, and such things we have to keep in mind. Now this is the difference between, we have already studied what is AOA and MOA. So this is something which is homework to you. Please go through this distinction, or you can say basis. If your basis is not written there while attempting the differentiate between any differentiate between, I'm talking about private company, public company, or member of association or article of association, then your answer will be not completed and your marks will be deducted. So just go through this. We have already studied. Just go through this. Fine. Now the prospectus, I told you, it is the document. It is a document which invite deposit from the public to purchase shares or debenture of the company. So definitely we are going to appeal from the public that please come and purchase the share. So maybe we listed in some stock exchange. Fine, this is all about the prospectus means. So public company list limited shares may issue to the prospector if it is want to make an appeal to the public to subscribe its shares. This is and debentures. A Companies Act 2013, a prospectus any document including any notice, circular, advertisement, magazine through any which. Fine, they can invite deposit or offers to the public to subscribe a purchase of shares or debentures of our body corporate like company. So we can go, there must be invitation to the public at large, invitation made on behalf of the company, invitation may be subscribe and purchase of its share or debentures. This is the elements of it. Fine. The last topic we'll discuss in the class. Fine. Very easy because it is absolutely depend upon what we have studied. So what forms of business we have studied? There are different forms of business we have studied. Sole proprietor. The next one is partnership. The other next one is joint Hindu family. Then cooperative organization. Then company. So they are the different form of business. So under what circumstances we need to think about that this business is suitable for or this business is not. Fine. So this is what we will discuss in the class. Thank you class. Please take care of yourself.